from the fact that website owners seem to be putting up this shit because they want their ads to show. Because if you have ad blocker, they don't like that. All websites like this just do this. Bye. They're fucking idiots. That's called. That's not right to do that. But I want to do something here. I want to show you that you can find comic books to read online. And one of these is at readcomicsonline.2. Now this is a copy, a parent copy of Incredible Hulk 181, a sought-after comic book, which costs a pretty penny to get because it's the first appearance of full appearance of Wolverine. You can see that the comic book itself is here online, and you can look at it and read it. But we have an advertisement. It's these ads. You know, what's to stop somebody from taking this image and the advertisement images and copying it, and then taking it into Photoshop, something like this, and doing a couple of changes to the comic book itself. And voila, they could literally take the comic book, copy it, and put it together on newspaper print and this type of paper, and the back cover and the advertisements, and slap together and sell it online as a real comic book. This I'm kind of concerned about because if people online are showing comic books along with the ads, what's to say that somebody doesn't, take this information and use it and make the comic book? Because if you look at the comic book pages, you can see the dots in it and how it's made, because if you look real close at a comic book, you can see the dots. But here it's digitized, so it's kind of hard to tell. You can look at it a little bit and see the dots on it, but as you get closer, you can see that it's a print. Because if you look at a real comic book, you can see those little dots on it. And they don't do this anymore, but if you look at it real close, you'll see that it's a fake. So you can tell if it's a fake or not, because especially if you see it. But as you zoom out, you can see the dots. And that's basically how the comic was printed. Remember those little dots when you look at it real close? You can see that in there. But when it's printed in digital format, it becomes more apparent. So a person can take this and they can try and put it together and sell it as fake using newspaper print and a special type of paper that the comic book company uses. It's pretty simple to do. and guess what? You got a person online selling a whole bunch of comic books with the original ads that shouldn't be online, because if the advertisement's there, somebody could take that and slap the comic. What's to stop them from slapping a comic book together? All you got to do is go on Amazon.com here, and look for newspaper print. I don't like the new look of the comic books anyway, because when you open them up, so you could go on Amazon here and find newspaper print. You could splice this together and print it up, and next thing you know, you got a comic book on your hands that somebody could buy, and they got a fake comic book, and you got their money. But once you got the fake comic, and you realize it's fake, then you got to look at it real close, a magnifying glass, and see if it is fake. Because if it is, then you got the fake comic book on your hand. I don't think anybody wants a fake comic book, especially if you paid a couple $1,000s for it. Especially a collector's item like the Incredible Hulk. Also, some people are getting fraudulent CGC graded comics. In other words, there's somebody that's selling this shit online. They're putting it back together in a fake manner and putting out CGC comics that are fraudulent, even though the comic book inside is real. So that's the thing about this kind of stuff. I'm concerned about it. So it is a major concern for me as a comic book collector. I will have this issue in particular, by the way, one day, as well as 180, because I had these when I was a kid, and I do have a pretty large collection. But as far as a fake comic book, I would have to really look at the comic book with a magnifying glass, and I think you should too, to make sure it's not fake.